Streamers who've been caught cheating while
From
live.
using
Here we
aimbot
go.
during a live CSGO
Here we go.
tournament to completing
That was
Super Mario
Forsaken.
64
I actually remember that way back in the day.
blindfold. These are the
See-through
dumbest streamers who were
blindfold?
caught in 4K cheating,
Jarvis.
beginning with Elm Zero, who accidentally left
This
his
should be a
aimbot
dramatic
on
video.
whilst
Lock
trying
it. If
out
you
for
guys enjoy me
professional
reacting to these, let me know.
esports team. Up until this point, Elm Zero had built up
Okay.
a respectable 3,000 Twitch followers for his impressive
Alright.
Apex Legends gameplay. However, while trialing for the pro team Zenith, judges noticed that his aim was
trialing
almost
and
too
cheating?
impressive.
Oh my god.
And while this first kill was arguably still possible without aimbot, his next kill was
It started to
significantly
raise
more
some suspicion.
suspicious.
Okay. That is kind of how it works. It all does become suspicion. That's okay.
Elm Zero shoots through the wall as if he already knew where the enemy
Exactly.
was before locking onto the player with near perfect
And that's with
accuracy.
mouse and key,
Elm
by the
Zero
way.
was instantly
With
called out in
mouse
a
and
Twitter
key.
post reading, "How are people streaming cheats in
Yo,
Scrims LMAO?" which received a
called him out
response
on
explaining that he
Twitter.
was known for cheating on PUBG in the past.
Wait, what?
One of my accounts was
Dude,
banned from
what's a
PUBG. I was
cheater?
banned by the PUBG court
Always a
for,
cheater.
I mean, my ban message said hacking.
Determined to expose Elm Zero for good, another clip was tweeted of him warming up for the match, in which
Okay.
his aim was once again robotically accurate, and with the evidence seeming conclusive, Zenith
Wait,
Esports would make a tweet
what?
explaining that Elm Zero was not contracted with us and has been removed from our
Wait,
trial
no
process,
shot.
which was followed by Elm Zero
No
deleting
shot. This guy went into aim trainer with hacks on to try to make it look like that was his aim.
all of his social media before disappearing from the internet.
Dang, I mean, stuff like that happens, you gotta get out.
0311 was even stupider,
Okay.
as after going live playing the game Destiny 2, he'd forget to
Cheating
hide
in
the aimbot
Destiny
program
2?
altogether.
Oh, come
At the
on.
time, he was streaming to a small audience of only 16 people. However, this was enough for one of his
No.
viewers to notice the fishy gameplay. Writing in the chat, "Is that aimbot?" On your screen, it has like red squares
Come
around
on,
them.
bro.
Semper was dumb enough to read the comments out loud.
You're
My screen
cheating?
has red squares around them.
And after pretending to be confused for a couple of seconds, the stream ended abruptly and the footage was deleted. In the days that followed, Semper denied cheating and threatened to ban anyone bringing it up.
No, it's not. No, it's not. And I didn't, dude. If you want to get banned, you can keep saying that.
Uh-oh.
Yet after being pressured by the audience, Semper admitted to cheating in the weakest way
yeah, I mean,
possible.
dude.
There was wall hacks on my computer yesterday on stream. Like, I'm not denying that. I just don't know how they got there.
However, at least Semper eventually admitted
don't know
to
how
some
wall
kind of
hacks got on
wrongdoing
your
as the next
computer?
person blamed her cheating
Oh,
on a
this was
non-existent
incredible.
person.
This is an
The
incredible-
streamer in question went by the name of Miss Q Gemini, and just prior to being exposed, she'd state that people often called her a cheater simply because she was female.
You know what's really sad? That sometimes, you know, because I'm female in Counter-Strike, people are like, "You're cheating!"
However, the real reason behind why she was called a cheater
God, it was 'cause
revealed
she was
itself just
literally
minutes
cheating.
later as she'd begin her first CSGO game
was
of the
literally
stream
cheating.
with wall hacks enabled.
Ah, what? They're mid. Mid.
To be going back to be.
Oh, what a fuck up. Oh,
After dying in the game, she'd come to notice her colossal size mistake and attempted to play the whole thing off by stating that she had some weird glitch.
Do you guys ever get that weird glitch in CS:GO where it shows your rank? That it shows everyone's rank. I played the other day with Rock, and
What?
he got that, and now I have it. I don't know why. It's
and now
weird.
Which
I
was then
have it?
followed by Miss Q Gemini, stating that someone named Clara had been playing
yeah,
on her computer
Clara, what'd
earlier
you
that
download right
day.
in-
Wait, Clara! Hold on. Clara, give me 1 second. Clara, let me just message this girl. Give me 1 second. Why is this on my computer right now? Where is this? How do I close this? I need to text my friend Clara right now. She was at my house earlier today. I'm literally gonna kill
Yeah,
her. She
blame
promised me she
Clara.
would use it on my PC. Clara, out of all people, this is what happens when you let people use your PC.
Realizing that there was no
Oh,
getting
yeah.
out of this,
Yeah.
Miss Q Gemini began to trade all of her items to a brand new account, yet unfortunately this wouldn't stop a Twitch ban, which happened later that
tried to
day.
dump all her
And while
items.
it's certainly
I'm
shameless to
done.
blame a friend for the hacks on your
I'm
computer,
done.
it's not nearly as shameless as aimbotting during a professional CSGO tournament,
This is when
which is what
Optic
would
was
happen in
owned
the
by that
case of Optic
corporation and they were trying to
Forsaken.
expand.
Forsaken had joined the Indian Optic group in May 2018, and in the
This
5
was such
games
a
played
shit
after
show.
joining, Forsaken had always placed either second
was
or
such a
first.
shit show.
While many assume that Forsaken was nothing more than a very talented player, it will be after flying to a $100,000
He went
prize
to a
professional
LAN.
tournament
It
in
was
Shanghai,
on a
China,
LAN.
that Optic Forsaken was exposed brutally. The tournament began with Forsaken taking large breaks in the warm-up rounds, as if he was trying to set something up on his computer in the background, yet it would only be after the main matches began that Forsaken's plays became incredibly suspicious. This first strange flick into the ground was followed by countless examples of him locking perfectly onto the enemy,
Come on, bro. obvious can you make this? Oh my god, bro. How?
While there was a chance that some of these kills could still be
How
made
obvious?
by a high-level
I never
player,
even saw
it will be
this
with one
gameplay.
final matchup that Forsaken's aimbot became obvious.
I never even see this gameplay. Oh!
After locking onto the enemy through a
God,
wall,
that's
event
insane.
organizers called a timeout, and officials made their way over to Forsaken's computer to figure out if he was cheating. At first, Forsaken refused access to his computer, however the officials would ignore this and look anyway, during which Forsaken kept pushing them away from his computer while he tried to delete the aimbot right in front of their faces.
my-
Despite having traveled all the way from India, Forsaken and the whole Optic team were instantly disqualified from the tournament, which became
That-
even worse
I
when
will
Forsaken
never
issued a public
forget
statement
this.
explaining that neither his team, manager, or coach had even the faintest idea that he was hacking.
okay.
The scandal eventually resulted in Optic
Okay.
India shutting down altogether, but Forsaken isn't the only person in
Okay.
this video to cheat in a professional
loving
tournament.
this right now. I'm
Because
in-
during a professional Fortnite tournament with a $500,000 prize, the following scenario happened to a player by the name of Marky Locuris.
What was this? What?
Despite being down and finished countless times by his opponent, a glitch prevented Marky from being eliminated. Whilst being revived, Marky told his teammate to keep quiet about what had happened, which was followed by the two unfairly killing the player who had downed Marky originally.
Wait, what? I had no idea this happened.
After continuing to play normally, Marky was approached by event organizers who asked him to leave the match, yet he'd refused, stating that what had happened was a glitch and was part of the game.
Oh my
While he would
God.
eventually give up and leave, this prompted discussion online about whether Marky had cheated or not. I don't think he is cheating, I think he just went with
Yeah,
it.
I mean-
All these kids saying he wasn't cheating. He knew he wasn't taking damage and got
Yeah,
revived.
even,
and
even if
continued-
it might have been a glitch, I mean, you can't, you have to, if you're at a LAN event and you try to keep playing that out, that's fucked up.
the game even though he should have died. That's considered an exploit and is cheating.
Exactly, I
Fun
agree.
fact, the first clip was actually a glitch, but he decided to abuse it. There was certainly an argument for whether or not Marky's behavior constituted cheating. However, the same couldn't be said
I
for
love the
Captain
flow of this
Baldy,
video.
who
We're just
accidentally
moving.
showed his aimbot whilst trying to prove that he wasn't cheating.
What?
Up until this point, Captain Baldy had built up a Warzone kill-death ratio of over 2.
Okay.
Yet similar to the Apex Legends player in the beginning, Captain Baldy would be called out on Twitter after
Mm-hmm.
locking onto an enemy who was running behind a wall. Another clip then surfaced where Captain Baldy displayed suspiciously accurate shooting.
Oh, that's blatant. See, the thing about Call
And
of
as a
Duty
result,
2,
his chat began to fill with
Bro, you
people
literally
calling
shoot
him
walls
a
and still get hit
cheater.
markers?
Determined to prove his innocence, Captain Baldy agreed to show his task manager, yet hilariously seemed to instead tap the key which brought up his cheat menu.
Task manager? Yo, they want my task manager? Hold up. Control delete.
that's it.
Oh my god.
The chat then
Oh
mocked Captain
my
Baldy
God.
relentlessly, which was followed by a live Warzone ban later in the stream.
Oh, that's
Disconnected
so good.
from COD.
That's so good.
Damn.
You cheating
with the
sack
Captain
of
Baldy
shit.
saga
You
ending with the
cheating
deletion
sack
of his
shit.
entire Twitch channel.
I
Getting caught
can't
while checking the
stand
task
cheaters,
manager was
bro.
a trend
I'm eating
continued
this
by
up.
Call of Duty streamer Young, although he didn't take his expose as humbly as Captain Baldy
Ooh.
did. Young's viewers noticed that he always seemed to know where the enemy was coming from, so just like our last cheater, the audience
I mean,
requested that he show his task
watching
manager.
cheaters-
Now, Young wasn't dumb enough to bring up the entire cheat menu, however, after
like,
accessing
obvious,
the task
you know?
manager, his stream display bugged out and showed a second window where his hacks could be seen clearly. After being banned from Call of Duty, Young would take to his Twitter on which he'd make an idiotically arrogant tweet reading, "Got mad free press tonight, over 2k views overall. Some people even posted my gameplay online. Thanks for the
Oh
shoutouts,
my
people. Really
Lord,
appreciate the
that
help."
is
Although these
shameless.
2,000 views worth of free press didn't contribute
Yeah.
to the long-term growth of his
Yeah,
career,
of course
as
it
Young
didn't.
hasn't gone live on Twitch ever since. However, Young
Of
still
course it
looks like a
didn't.
genius in comparison to Twisted Bear, whose Twitch description
Twisted
boldly
Bear?
claimed that he was the top Modern Warfare player.
Okay.
The reason for this claim would become apparent in
Okay.
July of 2020
Come on, bruh.
when he'd go live displaying his skills, only he completely forgot that he had his war
Come
hacks
on,
on.
bruh.
The end to Twisted Bear's career was then unbelievably quick. He was banned from
Done.
Call of Duty, then Twitch,
Done.
and was never heard
I
from
love,
ever
by the way,
again. But this is
Twitch, whenever I encounter a cheater that's streaming live and I send a message, they're banned pretty much instantly. Like Twitch does not f
What
around with streaming
separates
cheats.
Twisted Bear from the next cheater, Mr. Golds, who made a much larger spectacle
Okay.
over his cheating ban. Mr. Golds was a much more significant figure in the Call of
50,000
Duty
followers.
community,
Okay, I've never
sporting a
heard of
Twitch
this guy.
follower count of over 50,000. During a live stream to an audience of approximately 1,700 people, Mr. Golds brought up his task manager before beginning to brag about how he was so good at Call of Duty that he didn't need to cheat.
Is it the first time you see someone good at the game? Have you ever seen anyone playing like me? It's like seriously.
Although he didn't seem to notice that
no.
he'd also accidentally brought up his cheat menu, on which he had aim at enemies turned on. Despite having 1,800 viewers at the time, almost nobody was talking in the chat or calling him out for it, showing that he was probably also
Viewbotting, I was gonna
viewbotting.
say.
However, while the chat remained pretty quiet, the incident was shared to Twitter where it received over 2,000 likes and 700
get out of there.
retweets. After being
Have a good
temporarily
one.
banned from Call of Duty and
I
Twitch,
love how all these
Mr.
are Call of
Golds would
Duty. That's how
upload an
bad
apology
cheating is in
video
COD,
in which
by the
he'd
way.
state that he didn't mean to download the
That
cheats.
is how bad cheating is in Call of Duty.
I'm sorry about. I didn't mean to.
What does he
didn't
mean?
mean to?
I didn't mean
Yeah.
to. You don't download and use cheats without meaning
Exactly.
to. I mean, come on, buddy.
Before
That's
going on to try and
absurd,
convince
bro.
his audience that this wasn't
Come
who he
on,
was,
man.
This is not who I am.
It's
This
literally
is
who you
really
are.
not who I am.
despite having cheated for months in the lead up to his expose. These days, Mr. Gold's Twitch channel is an advertisement for
Oh, he
big
got hacked?
cryptocurrency giveaways from Tesla, which sounds like an even bigger scam than his wall hacks. However, a more interesting question
his
to
account
ponder
got
is
hacked,
what
which I
happens
love.
when a game developer gets caught cheating
What?
on his own game.
What?
This is what happened to Ortonil, the H1Z1 technical director, who was caught using invisibility whilst live on stream.
What?
You can't see me? Oh my god, am I hidden? Oh my god.
Yeah, judging from his
Oh
reaction,
my.
the cheat had definitely been left on accidentally.
He
Oh my
accidentally
God. I'm so sorry, guys.
was hidden.
I'm so sorry, guys.
Oh, poor
Damn,
guy.
I actually feel for the dev. You can tell he felt really
Oh,
bad.
poor guy. I actually
LOL.
feel bad about that.
However, there was absolutely no accidents coming from Faze Jarvis, who was given a lifetime ban on Fortnite after cheating publicly. On the 4th
I
of
remember
November
this. He made a
2019,
video.
Faze Jarvis would upload a video titled Fortnite Gave Me Aimbot, in which he'd explained that he was given hacks by an unknown person in random duos.
Something crazy actually happened. I got in a random duos game and he was telling me like he can get aimbot and everything.
And that he was going to test the hacks for his video.
This is what happens. Look, aimbot FOV, aimbot. I don't know what half this stuff means.
What a
but
life-changing
it's actually about to
decision
lit.
for
We're
Jarvis.
about
Like,
to pop
what a
off.
life-changing
Over the
moment.
following
Like,
7 minutes,
everything
Jarvis
changed
lit
in
up
Jarvis's
every single
career.
person in the lobby with his insane aimbot accuracy.
You know what I'm saying?
Gosh, man. Oh!
Bro,
I'm sorry, what? I'm sorry, what?
what did
Whilst
we mean? I'm
explaining that
sorry,
he was using a
1K.
new account and a new computer,
Bro,
so
he's
he wouldn't
literally
get
aim hacking.
banned.
Obviously, I don't want to have aimbot on my main account. I had to go on a new PC. Like, I don't want to get my main PC banned.
Jarvis finished the video by once again reiterating that you shouldn't hack and that his dummy account was most certainly going to get banned.
Never use aimbot, okay? Never do it. You're gonna get banned. I'm 100% gonna get banned on this account.
Yet he
On this
probably
account.
didn't expect that Fortnite would watch his video and ban every single one of his accounts permanently. In the days that followed, Jarvis would upload a new video titled I've been banned from Fortnite, I'm sorry, in which he'd explained that he
One
could
of
no
the
longer
biggest
play the
Fortnite
game.
scandals
I've actually
ever.
been permanent.
I mean, this has to be top 3 Fortnite scandal ever.
For life.
Maybe the
Recently
top
I posted
one.
some videos of me using aimbot. It didn't even cross my mind to think that I could be banned for life on Fortnite.
Before stating that he was extremely sorry for his actions.
You know, it's obvious that I made a massive mistake. And of course, I would never think about doing anything like this again. I know now how big of a mistake this was, and like, it's just...
Did he officially get unbanned? I think he did, right? Because they like unbanned cheaters.
The video accompanied a tweet by Jarvis reading, I'm going to take accountability for my actions and I understand completely why this has happened. I just wish I had known how severe the consequences were at the time and I would have never thought
Tough,
about
bro.
doing it. I love all of you who
actually
still
crazy
support me.
how much
This
changed.
is
That
not
was
the
6
end.
years
And
ago
while Jarvis
almost.
did seem quite apologetic
Oh
for his
my God,
actions,
6 years
Fortnite
ago
would
was
make an
crazy.
example out of Jarvis by banning any new accounts that he tried to create. The interesting
didn't
thing
mess around
is
with it at
Jarvis's
all.
punishment was still less severe than super fast jellyfish,
Super
who might have the
Superfast
craziest
Jellyfish?
cheating
I've
story
never heard of
in
this
this
guy.
whole video. Superfast Jellyfish was a Super Mario 64 speedrunner who wanted to join the exclusive 9-person list of Super Mario players who had completed the game whilst blindfolded. In the lead up to his blindfolded attempts, Superfast Jellyfish had been playing Super Mario 64 for 3.5 years, leading him to believe that he had enough experience to beat the game without eyesight, and apparently he was correct, as he'd successfully complete the blindfolded challenge after only 3 tries. However, his ability to complete the challenge with such ease prompted a user by the name of Charlie Brown 64 to upload a video titled Obvious Cheater Fakes Blindfolded Super Mario 64
how are you gonna fake
Speedrun, in
a
which he tears
blindfolded
Superfast
attempt,
Jellyfish's
man?
run to absolute shreds.
Only a true gamer such as this man would be able to somehow sidestep this Goomba, quickly make his way up the path, and then do this long jump to the next red, all completely blindfolded and with absolutely no setup necessary. Not only does he somehow know exactly where the 1-up box is, but he also knows exactly what direction the 1-up will go in once it spawns, something completely determined by RNG. Then, after chasing it on a moving platform for a completely arbitrary amount of time, he somehow knows exactly when and where to jump to the left. Watch now as he somehow knows exactly where he is on the spinning platform and knows exactly where the first pole is. Again, anyone who was actually blindfolded here would have probably just kept holding left and run off. However, this guy is able to make a completely random amount of adjustments to make it onto the pole.
19 days after Charlie Brown would upload his expose, Superfast Jellyfish uploaded a bizarre apology video in which he tried to claim that the run had been faked deliberately.
That speed run was purposely fake. It was purposely fake.
Yet nobody seemed to buy any of his lies, as Superfast Jellyfish's time in the spotlight ended with a dislike ratio of over 95%.
Hey, likes the 27K, bro. That was a salty video. I love it. I love the drama. If you guys enjoyed that one, comment down below. Thank you guys so much for watching. We'll see you in the next one.